I read the premise of this anime and I thought this is going to be riddled with tragedy, and I was curious to see how they would handle combining tragedy with mecha. How were they going to execute that? Because those two genres, tragedy and mecha, don't seem to go that hand in hand. I'm worried that the mecha action would distract from the dramatic tragedy, and the dramatic tragedy would distract from the mecha action. But alas, they made it work by slowing down the pace and making everything very character focused. Right from the get-go, we get to see the ensemble of characters on this beach doing a variety of things. Some of them get more dialogue than others, and this whole 7-minute or so sequence doesn't really reveal that much about the characters, but it subtly introduces us to them in a concise and non-boring way. This could have spent a whole episode on just these characters on the beach and ending it when they sign up to become mecha pilots, but they move through the setup quite briskly, which is great, because it means that this first episode is all that more intriguing. I can see that the approach of the anime, judging by this episode alone, is trying to be quite detailed. Seemingly random things happen, such as with the crab on the beach, and I hope that those little details come in handy later on in the anime, and are not just random for the sake of being random. Speaking of details, there is a part where one character is forced into signing up to become a mecha pilot despite her having doubts, and considering what the premise of this anime is, I can see some negative dramatic tension between her and the guy that forced her into signing forming. In terms of ideas, I love how they avoided that mecha anime cliche of pilots piloting mecha from a mini control room and they're hooked up to the suits. Here, the pilots sit in a chair and control the mecha suit through psychic powers. And the most intelligent thing about this is that there is one chair for each character, and the respective chairs back up who the respective characters who sit on them are. It makes the ending credit sequence, where we get to see the characters sitting in their chairs, all that more fascinating. I mean, using different chairs to explain different characters is very, very interesting. The animation isn't as bad as I heard it would be. It's nothing special, but I really don't mind because it gives Bokurano, this mid-2000s anime, a more old-school mid-1990s look. The mecha battle is very slow, and I thought this would be a problem for me, but considering this anime is psychological, it actually makes sense for the battle to be slow. This is a drama-focused anime, so a slow battle would reflect that, and considering the premise, a slow battle is a more intense battle. I am a little worried about the very large cast of characters. There's about 15 people. I'm hoping this anime gives enough time to develop at least most of them. And I'm also worried about the main character, who seems to be the guy with the striped garment, as he doesn't really seem like leading material. And wow, I do feel bad for that one character who didn't sign the contract, considering what she's about to go through at such a young age now. Finally, couldn't they find a more interesting way to show a blackout other than a TV screen cutting out? All in all, this was a solid episode, and it established what makes it tick very efficiently, and I look forward to seeing how the characters are going to deal with their newfound situation.